I was out there in Boulder where I had a silkscreen studio, and I'd been busy creating this new look for the scene that was just sort of manifesting at that time with the, in Naropa was like a big sort of opening explosion, and then suddenly Trungpa was manifesting the beginnings of a kingdom. And one of the great ways he did it was visually. And he invented this style of banners as a primary means to create an atmosphere. The formula for the banners were to create a Japanese sense of space, which means a big, luminous, feeling of space and emptiness, but filled with light. And then using Tibetan color and ornamentation as the details, but using a Western sense of scale and materials, so it would fit into the existing architecture, so it would harmonize with the buildings we were using. So we were just churning out carloads of banners, because when His Holiness was doing these black crown ceremonies, we'd rent very large spaces and just fill them end to end with these banners to create this mind-blowing experience of walking in there, especially in the 70s, because it was still kind of the 60s, so nothing like this had been seen, But one day, in the middle of January, in the middle of a very cold winter, I got a call from Trungpa saying that His Holiness the Karmapa was going to be staying at the Plaza Hotel in New York, because he was going to be doing a black crown ceremony there. So Trungpa wanted me to make a flag for him, because apparently when a visiting head of state is in residence, their flag is allowed to fly, and often they'll take all the other flags down and just have the American flag and the head of state flag up for the really high positioned. So Trungpa proceeded to try to describe a flag to me over the phone. And His Holiness Karmapa, having lost Tibet, they didn't really have a flag, and he wasn't traveling with those things. But luckily I had already drawn his seal for him to be used for another project, which 2 deer holding up an 8-spoked wheel at John Machaka. So I had that, and I had all sorts of other screens around, and I tried to listen as best I could to Trungpa's description, and got off the phone and realized, well, I've never made a flag. How do you make a flag? Out of what? So I just went to the store and bought all this red and yellow canvas, figuring those are Kagyu colors, and Trungpa wanted it like the next day, So I just kind of made up this flag on the spot and just stayed up all night printing it and sewed it up and got a grommet machine and sort of overcompensated with building this. It felt like building a flag, and sent it off. And I got a call that they had arrived. That was fine. And at the time I was staying in this wonderful old hotel called the Boulderado, and I got a call one January night saying the flag was flying at the plaza, and that was fine, and that made me feel very happy. It was up. And then I got a call the next night saying, Jack, have you heard about the flag? And I was, no, what? And they said, oh my God, there was this ferocious windstorm, howling gales in New York City all night long. We just found out the flag has blown to pieces, and it's all up and down Fifth Avenue. And I was like, the flag blew to pieces, oh no. The person was very excited on the other end. I couldn't figure out, why are you so excited and calling me? So of course I took the phone off the hook immediately and just shut the door for 3 days. I remember I didn't answer the phone, I didn't answer knocking at the door. I just holed up out of total embarrassment, humiliation, that I failed my guru and failed the lineages and failed the Karmapa and all this stuff. And finally somebody got through somehow to me, knocking on the door and said, there's a phone call downstairs you have to take. So I went downstairs to the desk and got this call, and the person was saying, we want to tell you about the flag. And I was like, no, I can't hear it one more time. They said, the flag, it blew to pieces. I said, I know. I said, the American flag blew to pieces. The American flag is all up and down Fifth Avenue, and your flag is still flying, And so it's just very funny because as a kid I would go to the flag factory in, where was it, Verona, New Jersey, the Annan Flag Factory, on school field trips where they made American flags. And I'm sure the one at the Plaza was made by the, the Annan Flag Factory of Verona, New Jersey. And I can't believe that they didn't know how to make a flag that could handle a gale. And my very first flag did. So that's just something to do with the power of the Karmapas and the power of Trungpa and the power of the Dharma in the West.